The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Boyd's ATA Black Belt Academy in Marrero, Louisiana. Barreto Home Solutions. Bayou Audio and Video. Hot Works on the North Shore. JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington. Lil Dizzy's Cafe. Kuman of Gretna. HBP Construction and Consulting. Moe's Pizza. Bucks Snow Whiz. CC's Children Blocks. The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana. Leo Auto Glass. The Juber Family in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Dat Kitchen Restaurant in Chalmette, Louisiana. CoSource Financial Group.
Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JV, the sports guy. We got a good one for you all today. 7:30. We're gonna have the one and only Jay Johnson, the head coach of the LSU men's baseball team. He's gonna join us, and after that, we're gonna talk about our top five boys and girls basketball teams in the state. As you can see, we got the one and only VK Jones with us. What's up, VK?
What's going on, folks? Like, tag, share, subscribe to the Hash It Out Show, all social media platforms. And we are on X, we're on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we're on YouTube on JB the Sports Guys YouTube page. I'm wondering what's funny. You really laughing down, or is it what I got on my head?
Yo, it's Peppers. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, first of all, hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing tonight? Listen, Jared, if it's all right with you, the reason I'm a couple of minutes late, I had some things going on with work. If y'all watch the,
You good? You good? Don't worry about it. You good? You here?
no, I was gonna say if y'all watch the news, it's about the fallen deputy. We have his funeral tomorrow, and I was being taxed to do something in honor of him tomorrow morning at my roll call. So that's why I was a few minutes late. And I'm here now.
You good?
I see the LSU head on VK's head. It don't fit though. It don't fit though. I'm being messy. I am so messing with you right now.
See, you're lucky right now. This is a family show. If this is not a family show, I would like to do something, but I can't do it. So I'm gonna leave that alone because I ain't the type of person that wound up going in the cars that could have been stolen. So I don't really do that myself.
Oh yeah, he didn't tell you about that, JB. That's funny.
He told me.
He did, dude. I was blank. I was like, I was just on instinct. I was like, I remembered where we parked. I was like, wait, and then I forgot there was a tree, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm in the wrong. I realized at the second I was like, oh, I didn't. I'm not gonna say what I really said, but it's like, oops. And he's like, what are you doing? I was like, boy, it's a good thing nobody had a piece. But yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day today. And look, I know you wanted to start about last night with the Curtis and St. Augustine tilt. And
Yes.
look, to the John Curtis people, to the people of St. Aug, y'all represented both schools very well last night. Let me start by saying that. Um, the game in and of itself was a pretty good game. Can't say it was a barn burner, JB, but it was a very good game. Tough injury. Did y'all get the news about Midnight?
The
What was
sprain.
the injury?
The sprain.
That's what I suspected. The way he was walking, I told you that VK. It looked like to me, it was looked like an ankle sprain of some sort. So he's looking at what, a couple of weeks.
Maybe so. Hey, Jesse Fontenot, just to let you know, ain't the first time he's been on our show. He's been on our show before, buddy. So thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. So
There's a 5 letter word for that, but I'll leave that alone. Not the S word, not that one, not one. No, not that one. VK it starts with a T.
I know.
all right,
All right,
guys,
brother.
let's get into
Lead
it.
us off, JB. Lead us
So,
off.
all right, so let's get to where we were last night. That was John Curtis versus St. Augustine. It was one of the most talked about, hyped about games we've had here in quite some time. And did it live up to the hype with the amount of people that showed up at the game? I mean, I would say that's the biggest game, basketball game in John Curtis history, probably, because it was packed from wall to wall. Guys, to get it going, Curtis defense, I was impressed with. Number one, to me, it looked like the game plan was to get the ball out of the hands of Aaron Miles. You know, that is pretty much St. Augustine's number one player, and he can make plays happening even when he's not shooting the basketball. So I think that was the game plan of John Curtis. As you saw multiple times when he got the ball, they try to trap him to get the ball out of his hands. That was number one. Number two, you sit here and tell me that Artrell Manning wouldn't score in double digits and Curtis would still win, I'll probably be like, yeah, right. But that goes to show you the depth that John Curtis has on this team this season. And then we know about Artrell Manning having a hurt ankle. Midnight Martin in the first half was the spark. Midnight Martin was the spark in the first half. And plus Johnny Walker as well. But Midnight Martin was that main spark in that first half. Third quarter, Midnight Martin goes down with a hurt ankle. So now you ask yourselves, well, you got Johnny Walker, or Trail Manning is hurt. I mean, he sat out a lot of the second quarter and the fourth quarter when you watch the game. But then you ask yourself, then who's gonna step up to help Curtis win this game? An eighth grader. An eighth grader that's about 6'5", 6'6", in the name of Torrey Walker Jr. comes off the bench, and I think these were the biggest baskets that were made in that game. Those back-to-back 3-pointers he made from the corner. I think that was the biggest baskets in that entire game, and it just seemed from then on, it was just all Curtis. Now, I will say this. St. Aug went to start the third quarter, went on that 6-0 run, and I just disagree with Coach Wade Mason calling that timeout because I think that took away the momentum that they had going. You on a 6-0 run, the crowd quiet. The crowd got quiet. This is it's like it's in your hand. I think when he called that timeout, it killed that momentum, and you saw Curtis then score back-to-back baskets. That's just my opinion. Coach Mason to me one of the best in the state. I just disagree with that part. And for them to step up without Midnight Martin the rest of the second half, and Archer Manning barely playing the fourth quarter because his ankle's hurt also. For them to step up and win that ball game says a lot about John Curtis basketball team, VK Jones.
Agreed. We've seen it all year long, and I'm gonna keep saying it. The cows come home. This is the deepest team in the state of Louisiana. This is the deepest team because they go about 10, 11, 12 deep. That's how deep Curtis Benches is and how their team is that deep that other people. It's been amazing how this team, that different people step up every night for this squad. And it's really big for Curtis going forward. They're going to need Midnight Martin and a trail to be healthy more than anything else for the leadership. That's what they're going to need them for. But now, and hopefully that Midnight will be back sooner since it's a spring, but I know they're going to take some time with him. And also, they're going to take some time with Trail to make sure he's 100%. That because that was the biggest concern with Bigo Paris when we talked with him, especially after the interviews. He wanted to make sure that those two particularly to be at least 90 to 100% going forward. And they're going to do everything in their power to make, they say they want to win the district. They want to still be the number one seed, but he's going to lean toward his depth more than anything else going forward, but to make sure those main two be healthy, especially going into the end of the season, going into the playoffs. And that's very, very important because of their leadership more than anything else. But everybody else has been amazing how the depth has stepped in and everything. I think other seniors like a Joel's Tap is going to really try to step up. Xavier Howard is another person that can step up and play. And also, we got another eighth grader that comes off the bench is really good.
Chance Foster.
So, yes, Foster, thank you. And I tell you, man, Curtis has like I said, there's been some teams over the years I've seen in my over 27 years that's been very deep benches. And I love it when teams have very deep benches because sometimes most of the time they win, sometimes they lose, but most of the time they win because you have more than one weapon that's really big.
Peppers.
I think last night, more than anything else, gentlemen, tells me one thing. John Curtis, to me, after last night and having a night to sleep on it, I think they're the team to beat in Division One. I think to VK's point, the depth and Artrell not being up midnight going down and Artrell playing with a bum wheel. And Tory Walker, huge 3 pointers, and this kid could still grow. That's scary. That is very scary if you're anybody but John Curtis. Coach Bigo, this is to me clearly your best team. And yeah, they're not going to graduate people. So they're going to be a problem for a lot of teams here, but for a handful of years coming forward. With that being said, looking at this game perspective, I think they found a team that can match their speed. You know, they're a fast team defensively. St. Augustine. I think Curtis matched them all night. And JB, I agree with you about the sequence that you mentioned, the 2 threes in a row. Because I remember looking at you, I was like, "Why?" I thought Bigo had called the timeout to get his team settled. I thought naturally, I would have thought that was Curtis calling that time. And I turned to you in that sequence, and I was like, "That's Curtis's timeout." He goes, "No, it's Wade." I was like, "What?" I looked at you. I had that incredulous look. I was like, "Huh?" And not to question Wade Mason. This is not at all that for either of us. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you're the crowd. There was 2 times the crowd was quiet last night. That at the end of before the end of the game when that announcement came about storming the court. That was the other time. So yeah, when the man, the myth, the legend speaks, people listen. And I told VK in joking fashion when we were walking down from the bleachers, I said, VK, what if one of them would have been dumb enough to try something? That was just a laugh we both shared on the way to our post interviews with Coach and Tor and I'm sorry, I'm blanking, but you know, I'm, you know, I'm about that and noise and all that. And, I am that stuff. The aspect and the crowd showing up in the number. Y'all should give yourselves a big round of applause. We applaud you for supporting these kids as media members. We applaud you for being there and backing up your kids. And the St. Aug showed out too. They brought a lot of fans, and we were around a lot of them last night. They brought a lot of people to that gymnasium, and I was a proud person to be with you guys and proud to see that happen last night. That was a statement last night made in a very big way. And you can best believe if both of these teams find their way to Lake Charles, I forget the name of the arena now. It used to be Burton Coliseum.
It's still
They
Burton.
it is still Burton.
Still
I thought they changed
Still
it.
Burton.
Okay, I thought they changed it, but you can best believe it's going to be a big crowd there too. And oh, here we go again, Austin. Cool it. Um. Anyway, so but yeah, it was a great game great effort, great atmosphere last night, and only a couple more weeks to go, gentlemen, before we hit the playoffs.
Let's get to St. Aug right quick. Let's get to St. Aug because this ain't over with for St. Aug. St. Aug was in the same predicament last year. They didn't win the district. They didn't win the district, but they hoisted the state championship trophy. And I know Coach Wade right now, he's going to put this loss to the side. Let's take this game by game. But let's just say they happen to meet up in the semis of the championship. Coach Wade going to want John Curtis. VK, he wants to get his revenge. And if it's for the state championship, he's going to tell you there ain't no better place to get revenge on John Curtis. Because that's the type of mentality Coach Wade Mason has, VK.
It's in the blood. It's in the blood of St. Augustine. It's in the blood. When there's rematches, especially in the playoffs, it's go time. It's go time. And it's time to try to get the payback that St. Augustine deserves. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think, I wouldn't be surprised. It might be semifinals. It might be a championship. It's going to be almost the same scenario with the St. Aug football team. You got to hope where the rankings at that they could meet in the championship. And I think that will be the greatest appropriate ending on a part 3 more than anything else. I think last night with St. Augustine, there was like some, they got to work on free throws. They got to work on free throws. And they also, Aaron Miles, like Brazil had a nice game last night. Very nice game last night. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go back, JB, and I hate to say it, and I looked at some highlights today, I was right what I said about Percy Thompson. Him and Brazil scored their first 8 points for St. Augustine. So it was a good start for him. But at the same time, they need other weapons as well.
I said that Curtis was going to live with that because the ball was not in Aaron Miles' hand.
No, I agree. No.
Okay.
What you're saying, we on the same page.
All right.
Because that's the main plan. But for them to start that way, that was huge. But, Brazil continued. Thompson fell off. My biggest thing now for St. Augustine going forward, knowing the true weapons of that team, it's time to implement Abe Taylor offensively. It's time. It's time. Because he's a weapon. He can shoot the ball. He can drive. It's time for him to get some shots because they're going to need him. Because if they face a similar type of defense and everything else, and Aaron Miles is not on, then what's going to happen with the Purple Knights and nobody else is on? So they're really going to have to add Abe Taylor as a weapon more than anything else going forward. And the atmosphere last night, amazing stuff. Because the thing is, the gym, and I remember it clearly, their biggest game at home before then was the Riverside game when Riverside was really good under Timmy Bird, and them and Michael Kreischer, who's coaching at Curtis. Curtis had a really good team, led by a couple of great people, and that's a story for another day on the run of Curtis. Then with how the emergence of boys basketball came for John Curtis, but at the same time, that was a packed crowd in a smaller gym. Josh Preston I looked at some of his highlights, and he was like, he started the video coming to the gym and couldn't believe the parking and how far he had to go. And he was like, well, isn't this small? Like, no, Josh, you got to go way back. That gym was smaller when I was there for that Riverside and Curtis game. It grew a lot more because they had to expand it. And I just had a feeling that it was going to be definitely full. And I remember I came with you last year for the Curtis girls. And that was the first time I seen the brand new renovated gym. And I'm like, it's bigger now. Now you can
Let's
really
get
see
Peppers in here right quick. Peppers, your thoughts about St. Augustine last night?
I mean, I said to you during the game, I said, the downfall of St. Augustine is the fact that you can't hit free throws. And then now a sound game was a myriad. Last night, early on, they missed the back throws. And look, Charity stripe is you get free shots. No one's in your face. No way to hit them because St. Aug is gonna if St. Aug's gonna win this chip, that's gotta get better. That really does. That would be game. He's a natural shooter, a great shot with the ball. I get that, and I agree with them. Curtis is still one rating from the August 3. So right now, is the place they will see each other. If you want to see it happen, I would. And for the state championship, that would be ultimate get back for St. Augustine to get another shot at and win the championship. Long way to go. Teams that can do a lot of damage. And we'll talk about that when we reveal our top fives later. But St. Aug's got some work to do. I think defensively, they were in spurts.
All right. Anyway,
Lord.
Nick, where were you at, Nick? Nobody saw you in that gym last night, Nick. Nobody saw you in there, Nick. Where you was at, bro?
You probably
Where,
was.
where you was at, Nick? Hey, Coach Valdez was there. I didn't see him. I saw he put up a live video.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about Nick. I would not be surprised he might have been there because sometimes he be ducked off incognito.
You can spot Nick out anywhere.
No, but sometimes you don't know if he there. That's the biggest thing.
Man.
Like you can spot. Now, JB, I'm gonna tell you, there were times I did not know he was there.
That's you.
Like he can be.
That's you. Every time I went to a game, I spotted Nick out.
I know you. I know you did. I know you did. Me, it was the fact sometimes he was sneaky, and it was like, bruh, I didn't know he was
sneak in nowhere, man.
Bruh, I went to a UNO basketball game. He was there. I did not know he was there. I'm at the press row. He texted me like, "I see you down there at ESPN." I'm like, what? Where you at? Because I don't even see you, in the vicinity. And all of a sudden he way behind. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, bro. I know you can spot him sometimes, but sometimes he might be on a slick and just slip through the back. You know what I'm saying?
All right, moving forward with John Curtis and St. Augustine. John Curtis has played the tough part of the district and won. Is out the way. The Jesuits, the St. Augustine, the Edna Carr, the Brother Martin. That is out the way. The question now is with Warren Easton, Rummel, and Holy Cross left. I don't know if Midnight Martin gonna play because he couldn't even walk on an ankle. But I would think Artrell Manning still is going to play in a limited role. Does Curtis still make it out the district undefeated? VK.
Absolutely. I think the toughest game out the three will probably be the Rummel game, and that's it. I think because Rummel has a very decent front court and everything. So that will be the only game I see is going to be toughest out three. Everything else, the Holy Cross game, if it gets close, I might not be surprised because it depends on how they come out. If they come out how they did against Brother Martin, it is going to be a long, long, long night. But they do have capable veterans that can score for Holy Cross. Now, if they get on a good start, if you know what I mean about that, JB, if they get on a good start, they can make it interesting. But if they don't, it will be a long, long night. But I think Rummel will be the toughest one out the three, and I think Curtis will finish undefeated in the district and win district championship for the second year in a row.
Oh, Nick was at the Warren Easton game. Okay. Peppers, your thoughts about John Curtis now dealing with injuries, and can they make it out the district still undefeated?
With how deep they are, I still think they go undefeated. I wouldn't play Midnight for the rest of the regular season. Get that guy healed up right for the playoffs. Artrell, it would be a wait and see with him. Let's see how that that foot responds to treatment. If his body says yeah, and the trainers give him the go, then yeah, get it. I don't think Curtis loses a game though. I just think they're so deep and so talented, and Coach Beagle has a really, really good squad. I don't know if any of the three teams, maybe like you mentioned, is a really good coach. At Holy Cross. I mean, you mentioned them, and they're give Curtis a little bit of a push. But boy, if what happened against Brother Martin, that happens against Curtis, like you said, we have off without another game. I think they'll do.
GP, I gotta take you out, man. Your internet is picking a bad time today, GP. I'm gonna take you out for a little bit, man.
Yeah,
So we gotta get that right, GP. Cause we got an important interview, GP. We gotta have that right tonight, GP. It is. That's why Elston telling you what he's saying. It's not that Elston's really trying to joke. He really saying what's going on. Like the last 2 times, we don't even know what you said. But look, I think they got a great shot to still finish district as district champions and finish undefeated in district. You can't afford to lose twice because that'll probably send the district championship to St. Augustine more than likely. We'll see. But Warren Easton will beat John Curtis. Nick. Hold on, Nick. Let me get this up here. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Warren Easton will beat John Curtis.
What?
No, Nick.
Stop, Nick. You
No.
pushing.
No,
you pushing,
Nick.
bro. You really pushing.
Yeah, Nick.
You pushing, bro. No.
Nick, what Kool-Aid flavor you got, brother? I need to know. Because no disrespect to my Warren Easton Eagles and to head coach. What's my guy name, VK?
Darius Mims.
Yeah, Coach Mims. Nick, they're not beating Curtis. If they have a shot to beat Curtis, Curtis is sitting out our trail at midnight. That's it. That is it. I don't see it happening right now, Nick. No, I don't see it happening. But if it happens, that'll be one of the biggest upsets this year. But I think Curtis got a good shot to finish district undefeated still. I think the depth with Torrey Walker, Xavion, Jewels, Chance Foster is going to really step up big time because now they know there's a scorer out with midnight, and now they got to all step up. So I think they're all going to step up big time to help this team out tremendously and still go on to win the district championship for a second year in a row. I just look at it like the heavy part of the district is out the way. VK, it's out the way, and they won that already.
I agree, and Nick, I love you, dude, but bruh, we seen Easton early in the year. Easton looked promising, but then after that, what I seen from Easton is not consistent, and they not ready for Curtis. They're not. No disrespect to Coach Mims, but they not ready. This is when I say we seen 12 players around Thanksgiving, around that time of the Hanville Invitational. We seen 12 players, missing 4 players from football, and they're playing 10-11, and everybody is clicking, and everybody is still clicking now. There's too many weapons. Pick your poison. Easton is not ready for this. Edna Carr wasn't ready. Whole bunch of these teams. The only team that really would step up against this Curtis squad is the team that played last night.
Well, Brother Martin lost by 8. So
and Brother Martin too. We
yeah.
Thank you. We're not going to disrespect also Coach West. And I tell you, probably one of the scariest teams going forward. Because if Brother Martin stays healthy, that is going to be a scary club. So I don't think Easton ready, bro. No, not against no John Curtis.
Definitely. We're going to take a commercial break. And we come back. We hope to have Coach Jay Johnson joining us right here on the Hash It Out Show. What's up, everybody? Me and VK Jones had to come to Little Dizzy's. Yeah, well, VK, man, wasted no time, and he loved the fried chicken and the dirty rice from Little Dizzy's. Look at what I had. Yes, indeed. Oh, y'all know I love candy yams. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that fried chicken is one of the best I ever had. And just like how Miss Arkisha Baquette says it, come to Little Dizzy's, where the food is always hot and it comes straight from the pot. Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Autoglass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504 301 8353. Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504 940 7552. And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, alongside with VK Jones, our next guest. His program, yes, the LSU Tigers baseball team has won 2 of the last 3 national championships and are looking to do it again this season. We have the one and only Coach Jay Johnson. Coach, how are you doing? And thank you for joining us.
Fellas, how you doing? Good to be with you.
Yes, sir.
Good,
Appreciate it
good.
so much. Coach, let's get right into it. After winning another title in 2025, how do you keep the team hungry and focused going into this season?
Yeah, we have a lot of guys that have their own individual aspirations on top of going to Omaha and winning a national championship. And Major League Baseball's looking for consistent performers. And so they're chasing their dream of being a major league player someday, just as they're trying to help LSU win. So that helps, when you got a group of guys that nobody comes here unless they want to be a major league player. So that certainly helps. I will say, though, we have tremendous player leadership on this team, and the benefit of having 19 players that were a part of that team, they saw the things and the traits in that team that really made it be successful. The ability to be selfless, completely together, the tough mindedness of it, and know the importance of operating in that way. And then you have 19 new players, and those guys weren't a part of that. So they're plenty motivated, to be a part of a team and an experience like that. So I can only hold them off for a few more practices, man. And then we need to get another team over here to play against.
Yes, indeed. Um, you talk about the 19 new players that has joined your squad. What have you learned about them comparing to the veterans on the team when they were new players?
I think they complement each other really well, and that's what we're always trying to do. We're trying to be a complete team. I have a lot of pride in last year's championship team, not just for winning the championship, but how consistently they played, how fundamentally sound they were. We could win any type of game, a slugfest, shootout, pitchers duel, big field, small field. And that's really important because, honestly, what you have to do to win in the SEC is a lot different than what you have to do to win in the College World Series when you consider the ballpark, the style of play, all of those types of things. So, we moved a lot of guys again onto professional baseball. I think it was 10 or 11, from last year's championship team. So that's a lot to replace. We did the best we could with that. I'm not looking for anybody to come in and try to beat Cade Anderson or Anthony Ianson or, Jared Jones is one of the great players in the history of this program. Like you could stack it up against anybody, 2 national championships, 3rd all time in home runs, excellent defensive first baseman. We just need these guys to be the best they can be. And if they do that, I think it'll provide, the type of team and results we're looking for.
Definitely. How do you define the culture that you've built at LSU since you've taken over?
It's pretty simple. There's a program deal, and then there's each team has its own deal and identity. And from the program, we really just want to be about 3 things. Number 1 is fundamentals, doing very common things in an uncommon way. There's a quote I love by George Washington Carver: by doing common things in an uncommon way, you will command the attention of the world. And we've done that, in the College World Series, 2 of the last 3 years, and really both those teams were very fundamentally sound. The second is compete. Like I've had 2 coaches now in my career tell me this, like that I'm the most competitive person that they know, that nobody loves winning more than me, and it's like great because that's what I'm asking everybody in the organization to be about. I never want somebody to come in here to the box and look over in the third base dugout and go, man, I think it was more important to them than it was the Tigers. Like, we may lose, but that can't happen. And so that's part of it. And then character. And that means just having a group of people that make great decisions by, doing what's right, always doing the best they can, and having a lot of humility and treating others the way that they'd like to be treated. And I think we've done a good job of that. Now, each year it's a little bit different now. And so for this year, it's about being all in on this year, and what we call like all in on now. And we've done a lot of studying of, when teams get to kind of the place that we're at, which that doesn't happen very often, but why do they struggle, or why do they continue to succeed? And, we never want any kind of complacency, to creep in. We've worked really hard, really hard, to get to this point. And so we have to continue to do that. High level of accountability. Like, we never want to not be honest with each other, with our best effort, and confronting and demanding like the highest standard. And then always being selfless, and what we call, placing the needs of the team above our own individually. And that goes for coaches too, and players. And so that's kind of the charge this year. And I did a lot of studying here in the off season of, teams like the Patriots and Alabama football, and, the Lakers and the Celtics, and, these teams that were in the midst of this multiple championship deal. And it's hard to get to this point. It's even harder to stay at this point. So you better be on top of your what.
Yes, indeed. My last question before I give it to VK Jones. Of course, we have the transfer portal. You have NIL, and you still got to recruit high school players. How do you balance recruiting high school talent with managing the transfer portal?
It's an inexact science. I think I'm very proud of the makeup of last year's team. And when I say that, it's like you look at the lineup, there was 5 players who started their career at LSU, regardless. Like Derek Curiel was a freshman last year. Stephen Milam started as a freshman. Jake Brown started here as a freshman. Jared Jones started here as a freshman. Ethan Fry started here as a freshman. So that's a really good core of like straight LSU guys. On the pitching side, Kate Anderson started here. Chase Shores started here, 2 of the 3 pitchers that pitched in the finals. And then, man, we hit the lottery on the transfer portal in terms of exactly what the team needed, and in the character piece. Like Luis Hernandez, our catcher, like, it's only 1 year, but that dude is a legend in my heart. Danny Dickinson, of course, Anthony Ianson, Zach Cowan, and then Chris Stanfield, who we have both of those guys back again this year. And so I feel like we found like a blend of how I want the teams to be made up of, going forward. And you have to have age and experience, because that's what the rest of our league is going to do. I do like the transfer portal in the sense sometimes it helps you overcome when you lose some of your high school players that you recruited to the MLB draft. So you can kind of make up for some of that talent you lose. But man, I love having that guy for 3 years. It's like, Stephen Milam, like, I wouldn't trade him for any shortstop in the country. And to watch him develop, as a player, as a person, as a leader, like, that's why you love coaching, so got to be a blend.
Coach Jay, man, it is good to have you on the show. And first of all, I want to thank you so much to agree to join us once again and everything. And you always admire what we're doing and everything. And we appreciate the respect
Yes, sir.
that you give us.
Yeah, of course.
So absolutely. So I gotta ask you this at first before we go forward with 2026. 2025, and there was some interesting big time wins, but I think the 2 wins that keyed, and you even pointed it out, the win against Arkansas to go forward especially going down that depth chart and pitching and getting that win. And it was like, man, we're good because the fact of the matter is we got days off, people can recover, and then the Coastal Carolina game won. To win 1-0 against a team I don't think has lost a game in the tournament, and for y'all guys to get it done with Cade Anderson with a masterclass. I was like, wow. I was like, man, LSU's in a great position. They overcame a lot of stuff, especially in Coastal Carolina. And then game 2, y'all just took it and handled your business. But do you think the Arkansas game and the game 1 was really key for you going forward for the title?
Yeah, so special. Man, if I could live in a 2-week period of my entire life, I might pick the 25 College World Series. And I was working the whole time, so you all might think I'm crazy. But no, I just remember, you're in that game. We're 2-0. Arkansas has to beat us twice. But it's really clear. Like, Coastal Carolina's already won. They have 2 days off. They got their pitching lined up for the finals with Flukie and Morrison. I have so much respect for Arkansas. Like, I was just like, hey, man, it's going to happen how it's supposed to happen. Like, let's just dig in and concentrate. And it's just like back and forth and just war, and they're throwing punches, and we come back and take the lead. They take the lead. We tie it up. They take the lead. And then it's this crazy ninth inning. And, it starts with some going back to the fundamentals. Like, nobody will talk about this, but like, Derek Curiel hits a ground ball and he's busting it down the line, running full speed, and they make a mistake. They don't finish the play. He gets to second base. Now Ethan Fry comes up as the tying run, and he's not trying to do too much. And he's super patient, draws a walk, and gets to first base. We get a little good fortune. They don't turn the double play. They only take the single out. And then we'd moved Luis Hernandez up in the lineup because he crushes lefties. They had a lefty starter in Beetleshees. Gibbler was in to finish the game, and he hits a rocket. And then the guy dives, and we get a chance to tie it up. And then, bang, you're sitting there with Jared Jones, who's, like I said, a legend who has all the experience in the world just to slow the game down in that moment and not try to do too much and just hit a line drive. And, man, I just remember standing on the field going like, it's our time. Like, it's our time. Like, that's the only way you can describe it. And thinking like, how crazy is that? Just 2 years earlier was the Tommy White, 2-run homer walk-off against Wake Forest. And then in the same game, we have this crazy comeback win. I'm like, I don't know what I did to deserve all this, but it's pretty sweet. And I can't wait to get ready for Coastal.
Wow. Absolutely. And that game 1 was something else, how you guys overcame and
Oh,
just won that game
yeah.
1-0. And it's like,
Yeah.
and like you said, and it showed LSU can win. It's amazing. They can win any type of game. And I'm like, that's hard for any team in the country to do.
No doubt. Yeah, and Cade Anderson, what a special performance in that game. What a special season. I think he's going to go down as one of the legends here. And I think he's in for a great big league career. Like, people ask me what I think. Is he an all-star, is a future Cy Young? Like, I would never bet against him, but I would bet my life that guy's winning 14 games minimum year in and year out in the big leagues because he's a winner.
Absolutely. Him and Anthony Ironson was really something else. I think
Oh,
Ionson's going to be a
dog.
great pro.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Man.
it's funny. I actually texted both of them in the morning. I was on the treadmill at like 6 a.m, and I just was like, I had some highlights up, on the computer, watching some stuff, and I was like, man, I'm gonna text those guys, and they're out on the West Coast. Cade's out there for getting ready to roll with the Mariners in spring training, and Anthony's living out there before he takes off. And I was like, they're probably mad at me because this is coming across at like 5 a.m. But what a 1-2 punch, man. I honestly don't think I've ever had that in my career. Those were 2 of the 3 best pitchers in college baseball last year.
Absolutely. Looking at 2026 this year, you mentioned a couple of the returning players that you have this year. Tell us about a couple of the newcomers that's going to try to really step in this year for the defending national champs.
Yeah, I think I'll start on the pitching side. Cooper Moore, a transfer from Kansas. He's been through this deal once before. He's thrown 90 innings for a season. He's pitched or started a game in the NCAA tournament. A lot like Anthony, but just like a super competitive guy that just pounds the zone, and he throws like 5 pitches for strikes. So just a guy that you know what you're going to get. And really fortunate that we were able to land him. That was really, really important in looking at how the rest of this has shaken out. On the position player side, Zach York is probably going to play first base. Really good hitter, transfer from Grand Canyon. There's 3 transfer infielders. Trent Caraway, Braden Simpson, Seth Dardar. Those guys are all going to be in the mix. But 2 guys that maybe everybody forgot about are returning pitchers that coming back from injuries. With Gavin Guidry and Devin Sheeran. It's kind of amazing to think we won the championship without 2 of our best bullpen arms, but they're back and they're ready to go.
That's huge right there for your team and everything, Coach. Looking at the schedule this year, a little different this year. A lot of home games this year for your squad, but then on top of that, some early ball games, early pitches, first pitch and stuff like that. Because we see a lot of 1 o'clocks, but not just that. A big change this year because LSU usually goes to Houston, Texas, for a little classic, but now things have changed. You're going to Florida this year for a couple of games and everything else. And I think that might be a kind of a good change, especially for your young team, to take on a couple of up and coming programs, including a Notre Dame team that's continued to improve.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They were in Omaha a couple years back. Indiana should be one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the Big Ten, and then Central Florida, Rich Wallace, great coach there. And the Houston deal is great, and we want to get back into that. Frankly, this group that runs these tournaments gave us a great deal, and we're excited to be in it. They run it very much like a NCAA regional, so we're excited to be into that deal. And then recruiting, everything's about recruiting. And when I came here, I wanted to really sort of plant the flag in Texas and playing in these tournaments in Texas and winning every one that we've played in actually has been great. And we're getting more and more good players committed and signed from the state of Texas. Well, we want to do the same thing in Florida as well. And so this is maybe a one-off, but we're excited to go over to Jacksonville and play in that.
Very much agree. That should be very, very fun more than anything else. In conference play, you're going a road this year at Tennessee and then at Ole Miss as well. Ole Miss team that continues to compete more than anything else. What are your thoughts on the SEC outlook coming up this year in 2026?
Yeah, I don't know how old you guys are. Or if I just liken SEC baseball to that old school like WWF Royal Rumble when they throw all the wrestlers in the ring.
Yeah.
And just beat the tar out of each other, and it's like you're gonna survive some blows. Last year national championship team, 53-15. We got swept at Auburn, and we didn't really play all that bad. It was a good team, really good team that played really good and lost some close games. And so the mindset piece, you guys asked me about culture. That's where you get through those things. I mean, I'd love to be the first coach that goes like 70-0 or whatever you can to win the title, but that's not happening in baseball. And so you got to weather the storms. You're at Vanderbilt. They were the #1 national seed, in the tournament. You mentioned Ole Miss. They hosted a regional last year. Tennessee hosted a regional last year. Mississippi State's the preseason #3 or #4 team in the country, and Georgia hosted a regional. So nice road schedule. Here we go. Let's go.
Man, that's tough. That's tough there, Coach. And I totally get it. You gotta have, like you said, it's a mindset. And I ain't gonna lie, me and JB, like JB's in his 40s. I think what is 43 JB or 44? 42. I'm 47. We know about the WWE. We know about the Royal Rumble. We know about that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, you got like Hulk Hogan and Junkyard Dog.
Yeah,
and
yes.
Andre the Giant.
Absolutely. And when you look at, I'm gonna say this: looking at the culture. Now you're getting used to Louisiana. Now you're getting used to the good stuff, the fish, the hunting, the fishing, the golf, all that stuff, man. You're a mainstay now. We talked about this before, but it seems like you love it here down in Louisiana now.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay as long as you all will have me here. That's for sure. Like So like I had some funny stories. Like I'm actually not a seafood guy, you know what I mean? But I've tried to lean into it a little bit, you know, being down here. And then my dad is like this avid duck hunter. Like his whole life's built around duck hunting, you know, and I went the sports way. Like I would go with him in high school, and then I just kind of lost interest. And then so I went with a donor about 6 months ago, or whenever, not this hunting season, last hunting season. And I was like, man, I haven't shot a shotgun in like 30 years, man. I got to get it back on my tutorial on this thing. So I missed everything. They lied to me though and said I had like 3 or 4 that I knocked down, but they were lying to me. So
I'm glad you're like, I gotta ask you this about, and you mentioned it's hard to be undefeated. Your LSU sister schools last season, and it was amazing to see what LSU units did, but came up short in the regional. Very surprising to everybody. But LSU Shreveport, 59-0.
yeah, Coach
59-0 in that
Neffendorf,
season.
man, that I'll tell you what, that we got to go to the White House, which was amazing, and they got to go with us. And
Okay.
so
Wow.
I got a chance. I called Brad about a week before that because I hadn't really talked to him about that season. I was like, hey man, like I don't know, like I need a tutorial on like how did you do that? And just looking forward to hanging out with him and his team up there. And it was such an awesome day. And you know, they're like undefeated still this year. I find myself like looking at their scores because it's like so interesting. And they won like 2-1 the other day. But he's a great man and a great coach, and they seem primed to have another great season this year.
Agree.
We had him on our show twice, and I'm like, he's amazing. And he was like, when the time they won it, and he was like, we want to have you on again. He's like, come on, let's do it. And I mean,
Yeah.
he really embraced the interview and everything. But it's amazing how the LSU system in baseball just continues to roll and roll, man. I
Yes.
love what I'm seeing. It's just amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, gotta ask you this last one. I'm gonna let JB close it out. What is the main goal of this team in 2026 this season?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of our mission is just to be all in on now. And, you know, it's a lot of people on the outside will talk about Omaha and championships and dynasty and all that. And that's great. What an awesome thing that we put ourselves in that position. But that has nothing to do with what happens on the field, you know. And so our job is to be focused on how we play. We need to win as many games as we can, improve while we're doing that, and then really just put ourselves in position, you know, to play our best when it matters the most. Now, that's easier said than done because even just being in the NCAA tournament is not a given. You have to earn your way there. But I like the competitive nature of this team. Again, we're 50-50 new returner, all that. It is not a young team. You know, we have old players on the team, and they're excited. Like they want to attack this opportunity. And so I think just constantly trying to be the best. And that doesn't always mean win every game, but like operate at the highest possible level. And if we're recruiting, we're developing, have the right mindset, then, you know, the results as they have, I think will take care of themselves.
Most definitely. Coach Jay Johnson, thank you so much for taking time out your schedule to join us. And let's get you back on in the future again.
Let's go. I want to see you guys down here at the box for a game though. So let's make it happen.
Definitely. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We'll
Yes,
talk.
sir.
We'll talk with Mr. Franquez, and we'll try to make arrangement. We'll come down for a weekend at least one of the weekend day games. We'll come out.
Oh, and
That sounds great.
It's no try. It's no try. It's
No
happening.
trial.
That's right. Make it happen. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
That man said, "Make it happen." Hey, that's the man who said it. We coming. You
Yes,
invite
sir.
us.
All right,
We coming.
let's go. I love it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
You too. One and only Coach Jay Johnson. And I was trying to get Peppers back in here, but it's not letting me get Peppers back in here.
Oh wow,
That Peppers internet is
rolling, or is it not rolling?
because he would pop up, and I'll move over and hit it. It was not coming in. So now, I'm still trying to get Peppers in here.
He's going to
And
refresh it.
It's not letting me. It's
Yeah,
not letting me.
You got to make
So-
sure you refresh his stuff. Just refresh that.
I told him to do all that, log out, log back in, you know, because I didn't want him to miss this, but it wouldn't let me. I was trying. Well, anyway, quick commercial break. And when we come back, Yeah, top 5 basketball teams, and hopefully we can get Peppers back in here. Hopefully, so y'all don't go nowhere. Stay right there.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985 266 0664, and don't forget to ask about their 1-week free special. Bucks No Wiz was the place to go as a kid growing up to get snowballs. As an adult now, it is still the place to go. When you want some of the best snowballs and some of the best customer service, Bucks No Wiz is the place. Now, excuse me, let me get back to my half grape, half pink lemonade snowball. Bucks No Wiz, located at 1508 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero, Louisiana. And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. Got VK Jones here, and we're still trying to get George Peppers back with us. So we're still trying to get him back with us. So Coach Jay Johnson, man, he has done wonders since he's taken over LSU. VK, why are you muted, bro? Why are you muted, VK?
I didn't mute. I
You
didn't
didn't
mute
mute
myself.
it? I didn't
No.
mute you. All right. So we got a ghost controlling stuff. We can't get Peppers in here. VK went
Oh,
mute. What's going on, man?
man, I don't know. They're trying to sabotage us, but they didn't sabotage us during that interview. So thank you, Lord. But but besides all that, man, and it was great to meet you too, Miss Tasha. You know, a pleasure, and we'll definitely see each other again. And wish your son very, very well. Raekwon Williams doing great right now in his rehab. He's way ahead of schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Cannot wait to see what happens when he's 100% is come back ready to go next season. So,
Man, you
wishing your
finally
son
met,
the best.
met Tasha, man.
Yeah, I met her today at the National Signing Day
Okay.
at St. Aug today.
Gotcha. Cool.
It was
Cool
good to
deal.
see her. But
Cool deal.
but
Make sure
Jay,
you there next year when Raekwon signing.
yeah, ain't no
I was
doubt.
able I was able to make it last year, but they didn't increase my work, so I can't even get there now. So
It's no problem, man. I didn't
yeah,
even know till Deshaun Coulon told me, and I made it in today. But at the same time, I'm definitely gonna be there for next year. You know, it's good to always come by. You know, the alma mater to support.
yeah.
But Jay is great, man. Jay Johnson, awesome, awesome guy overall. Because met him a couple years ago when he first year at LSU, and at the regionals, I asked him an interesting question about the Skip Bertman days a bit, and he was like, "That's an interesting question, man. I really appreciate you mentioning about those times and everything." And he
Yeah.
acknowledged me big time on that, and we talked after, and he was like, "Where you from, man?" I said, "I'm from New Orleans. I work with Crest City. I work with." Okay, it's good to meet you, man. And other people kind of knew about my work a bit, writing wise, and sometimes with the broadcast and stuff. So he remembered me after that time, and he was like, "When's your show?" And he was like, "Hey, talk with Bill Franquez. I set it up." And we was fortunate we had him a couple years ago. He was busy last year. This time he's like, "We're gonna try to make it happen this time." And Mr. Franquez got with us sooner. And big shout out to Bill Frank. He's been there for over 30 some years working
Yeah.
at LSU, man. I mean, very legendary. And he's the voice you hear, the PA announcer at
That's,
the baseball
mm-hmm.
games, that's Bill Franquez. So, you know, we appreciate him. And Jay is a great guy overall, period, and a great coach. And he done some wonders since he has got to LSU, but he's
Yes,
been
he
doing
has.
this since he was at University of Arizona
Arizona,
and some other places as well.
Nevada. Yeah.
Nevada. Yeah, he's legendary. He's legendary in his state, but also in the country. You know what I'm saying? So he's an awesome coach, and it's good to have him on. It's good to have him on our platform. and he gave us the invitation. He said, man, I don't care. You coming.
Oh,
Y'all invited.
We
So
going. It's happening.
it's
happening.
happening. Yep.
We going. All right, let's get started with this top 5. I am still trying to get Peppers in here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, we can get him in here soon.
Because we need him for this top 5. We needed him to come in and get his views on it. So keep trying, George. We're gonna try and get you in, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying on my end, honey. So, all right, let's get started. He's texting me. Yes, George, I see you in the lobby. I see it. I see it, George, but it's not letting me get you in here. I see you. Trust me. That's what I'm saying. I see you in there. It's just not letting me get you in here. But top 5 for boys. Let's get it going because it's gonna get real interesting with the boys today on this show. It's gonna happen. My top 5, ladies and gentlemen. John Curtis, number 1. Zachary, number 2. St. Augustine, number 3. Madison Prep at number 4. Alexandria at number 5. So, you ask me, why is John Curtis number 1? Yeah, Elston, he's going to call over the phone. I know, right? Why is John Curtis number 1? Great schedule. They've beaten the likes of Madison Prep, Jesuit, other good teams. They beat St. Augustine twice. I put them at number 1. Some of y'all might say, well, Zachary beat them. Yes, I understand. When it comes to the top 4, they've all beat each other some kind of way. But with Curtis, with that defining win last night, with what happened with Archer Manning being very limited, not scoring double digits, Midnight Martin having a good first half, but then he goes out with a hurt ankle, pretty much missed the whole second half. Torrey Walker got to come in, steps up, gets the win. Jewel steps up in ways on defense. And Johnny Walker, hey, you beat one of the best teams in the state in St. Augustine. And with that right there, everything that happened with Curtis facing adversity, I put them at number 1. I surely did. Zachary, number 2 still. St. Augustine and Madison Prep, 3 and 4. And Alexandria, 5. Why did I put Zachary at number 2? Zachary's the only team so far that's beaten John Curtis. Even though MPA Madison Prep beat Zachary, Madison Prep lost to All and Curtis. So that's why I got Zachary number 2, St. Augustine 3, Madison Prep 4, Alexandria number 5. Your thoughts?
Well, it's your top 5, and I think Curtis is well deserved of your number 1. Well deserved. You know what I'm saying? They've been playing very consistent, and also with that win yesterday, especially there was basically a 1 versus 3 matchup last night in that division anyway.
Yeah, the power rankings. Yeah,
exactly. So it's a top 5 matchup, and regardless of the fact, even though they made some mental mistakes that got St. Aug back in the game, they still wound up putting the game away and winning the ball game. And they're just gonna have to fix some things with that, which they will. And Coach Biko is gonna definitely point that out to make sure that does not happen going forward. But yeah, word deserved 1. Zachary being I know where you're going at with 2 and 3. I definitely see where you're going with that. Alexandria has been really coming up. They've really been a better team. They've been much better this year, veteran squad, and they're looking to really make some waves going forward, and they got some good wins on their docket. So, you know, I get why Alexandria's 5.
Most definitely. Waiting for my man Peppers to come back.
You might have to call him. Not possibly. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
He was texting me. So I'm trying to get him back in here. But let's go. Oh, hold on. Let's see. I heard a beep. Let's see. Let's see if we can get Peppers in here. Let's see if it works this time. Oh, snap. There he is. George Peppers, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, man. All right.
Just for the record, I hate system updates because that's what just happened. The whole freaking system just decided to do an update.
Oh man.
Wow.
Wow.
You know how when
Wow.
it shuts your phone off and all that. That
Yeah.
anyway. So where are we?
We're at my top five. Curtis, Zachary,
Okay.
all Madison Prep, Alexandria.
Pretty
Yes.
wicked. Okay.
Your top five. I know.
Uh, I know. At least your math's mathing, but that's all right. Um, I don't really have a major bone to pick with your top five. I mean, Alexandria is the second power rated team in Division One. I've got when you post mine here in a few short minutes.
Second team.
Madison Prep. That's a pretty steep fall though from
Well,
one from where you had them last week, and I
I
get it
didn't
was
have
a
I
desperate.
didn't have him one last week. I didn't have a number one
I
last week.
I did.
You
VK
did.
did.
Yes.
Yes, and I did. You will see my top five here shortly. Are we starting with this is the boys first, right? The girls coming
Boys
second.
first. Yes.
Okay, I don't have a real bone to pick with your top five. I think it's the right team. Number one, Zachary two. Yeah, I think I got them too, but you'll see. Um, I don't have any contentious, you know, things for your top five. I mean, it's pretty solid. I don't see no real big major problem or nothing like that.
My top four stayed the same. Dunham lost
They,
to Zachary. That
they
knocked him
did.
out. Yep. So another top five victory for Zachary in my top five. That knocked him out the top five and brought back Alexandria. All right, let's get to yours. Let's get to
Yeah, I want
yours.
to save the best for last, though. VK,
Oh, we saving it. Oh, we saving that one for last, brother.
that we
Oh,
are. Yes, sir.
oh yes. All right.
There's
George
mine.
Pepper's top five. John Curtis, number one. Madison Prep, two. Zachary, three. Alexandria, four. St. Augustine, five. Go ahead. Explain your top five a little bit.
I mean, to me, yeah, Madison Prep. I had the number one last week, but the eyes tell the story. What I saw last night, John Curtis looked pretty convincing. Could they have played better? Even Coach Beagle said there were gaps in their play in the post game last night. There were gaps, but I think that's more attributed to the talent of St. Augustine more than John Curtis. Really, just that game was about basically back and forth. Um, St. Aug missing free throws and Curtis not taking full advantage. That gave that game a little more closeness than it really needed to be. But it was a resolute effort by the Purple Knights. But look, Madison Prep, I dropped a two because they needed a big comeback. And look, it's a fine ball team. I think Mark is the decided favorite to win, get to the playoffs. So that's not a disgraceful win. Although, in the effort of how they did it, they didn't overly impress. You come off the wins that they've had on their schedule, Madison Prep, and I'm not saying they should have blown Marksville out by any stretch because Marksville is that good, but kind of wanted to see more consistency in that game. Zachary, Alexandria, St. Aug, you could put those teams in a hodgepodge. I think you could rank them any which way you want. I mean, we each have the same five, you and I. I just have them a little bit differently. And St. Aug fifth, it's not hatred on St. Aug. Let me get that out of the way
Oh
real
no.
fast. I know what I saw last night. I still think Division One is top heavy as far as who I think is going to win Division One. I said earlier in the show that John Curtis is the absolute favorite. They are, but there are teams capable. St. Aug absolutely can get on this run. Alexandria, we talk about 2-5A, and yes, they have that hiccup loss earlier in the district, but they're a team that's going to be ranked with their post game is going to be a problem in the playoffs. I think this is a pretty basic top five. There's no real hiccups or surprises or anything like that. Just to be honest, I just this is the way I have it this week. Of course, it's fluid because it's subject to change.
All right. Before I get VK in here, update right now as I'm trying to look, and it looks like as of right now, a minute 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Looks like the Zachary Broncos lead the Archbishop Shaw Eagles 66-59.
Oh boy,
VK, your thoughts on Peppers' top five?
It's top five is what it is for George, and he's got Madison Prep pretty high, and And indeed, they've been really playing much better than it was early in the season. They're really playing very well. Have some big wins on their resume and everything. So Curtis, the eye test and everything. Yeah, it's not surprising that George will have him as his top team. Zachary's right there in the fold. And yeah, like I said about Alexandria, they're really an improved team this year. That's continuing to grow and grow. That's going to be right there down the fold to have a chance to get the Lake Charles this year.
Zachary up 69-59 over Archbishop Shaw. Right now, minute 20 look like left to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for VK's top 5. And y'all know the phrase. Oh man, it became a slam dunk fest for Zachary all of a sudden. Jesus Christ. They dunking left and right on Shaw. What's going on here? All right. What's going on? They're getting their revenge from last year on Shaw. That's what they're doing. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The VK Jones top 5. And ladies and gentlemen, he has a tie for first. Madison Prep and John Curtis tied for first, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the VK Jones, everybody. He has Zachary third, St. Augustine fourth, and then he has Peabody fifth. We're going to let Mr. VK Jones explain his top 5.
I'm gonna say what I gotta say about it, and then I'm gonna mute my mic, and y'all can have it. Because, like I
God
said,
damn.
I'm being the bigger man tonight because this make VK mad again ain't working. Not in no 2026. I'm just gonna say what I say my piece, and that's it. Plain and simple. I know some people not going. I know I'm gonna get scolded for this tie for number 1. But let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this right now. Curtis had to overcome some things last night, and for them to win that game, that is big there. But I also said in the conversation last night, I could have a tie for my top 5 because of Madison Prep last week. That was that last week. Madison Prep had a huge win against Marksville. They were down double figures in a neutral site game, and for them to overcome that to win that game, to me, it's almost like two similar type games, and it is hard for me to pick which one gonna get denied. And I feel like both need to be rewarded for their performance. So that's why I have them tied at 1. Some people don't like it. I don't really care. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? They both deserve it. Me, some people's like head. I know some of the majority of this panel goes head to head, but I go with head to head and weekly performance. We cannot sleep on weekly performance. Now I'm gonna say this: John Curtis could have been my number 1 if Madison Prep wouldn't have played anybody. Madison Prep played a good team, so that's a huge difference in what you see in schedule than anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's all about what you do week for week. Now you'll see what happens in the girls' top 5 in a little bit, but regardless of the fact, that's why I got them tied at 1. Zachary, I moved them up to 3. St. Augustine, I put them down to 4, not too far because of the fact that was a really tough road game. And Peabody, you know what I'm saying? They right on the edge at 5, and it would have been something if Peabody and Bossier would have played. That game got canceled. So it would have decided a lot of things if they would have played. But Alexandria is really a team that's coming up in the fold, and that could hit my top 5. That could be subject to change.
Should.
We'll see what happens. You're right, and then we can't forget about Marksville, who's has a tremendous ball club, and then Ruston. This is a huge week for Ruston this week, man. This is a huge week. They play Alexandria this week, possibly for the district championship. So that is going to decide a lot of things. But we'll see what happens, and that's why my top 5 is what it is. Now I'm gonna let these guys do what they do, and I'm going to stay out the way.
George, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I mean, if that man's muted his mic, that means he's got a little yellow on it, yellow streak. I get that. He's scared of the confrontation, sir.
Man, I'm not. I'm not worried. I'm letting
I know.
like you said, making VK mad again ain't working. You can have it.
Well, if
So
you listen to Messenger earlier today, JB, I think it is working. You know,
Go ahead.
right or wrong.
if it was
But
working,
anyway,
I'd be tripping right now. I'm not tripping.
you are
So,
tripping.
no,
But no,
no, I'm
I don't
not.
want you to mute. Wait. I don't want you to mute, please. Um, oh, he
Go
did.
ahead,
Look at
man.
that.
Go ahead, George. Don't worry about
So
it. Don't worry. Go ahead.
anyway, all right, JB, I'm gonna use you. Not in that fashion, but John Curtis whooped Madison Prep earlier this year, right? Pretty convincingly, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, why would I even entertain the thought of a tie? For one, when on the court, Curtis was miles. That night, they were miles better. Now, granted, Madison Prep has gotten better. No, John Curtis is the right team at number one. I don't think there's any question. I see Austin's comment. I think they're the right team, at least this week. But they whooped Madison Prep. And then Peabody. Did Alexandria beat Peabody this year? I think they did.
That is correct.
Okay. But Alexandria is not in the top five. Peabody is. Noted.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's more holes in this top five than Swiss cheese, if you want me to be honest. There really is. And it's not that people again, not to discredit the great Hall of Fame coach Charles Smith and that group. That's a very good group, but that schedule leaves a little to be desired to me overall. There's maybe one or two wins that you could say are semi-signature, but the body of work doesn't compare to the Alexandrias of the world, and on the court, Alexandria. So I'm not going to needle that one. The one on is the tie for one. Curtis blitzed Madison Prep early in the year. They did. Now, what happens in a rematch setting? We don't know because they're not going to see each other again. Remember, Madison Prep, I believe, is D2,
Yes.
correct? D2 select. So we're not going to see this matchup. So I don't want to say we'll never know. We do know of what we did see. Zachary number 3, and I entertain the idea. Now I'm not going to because I think Zachary is about to win, or if they have not already won
Yeah.
against
They was
Shaw,
up. They got up. They got about 12. So it's a wrap.
it's pretty much done. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they got their lick back from last year because we went to that game last year, Shaw
Oh
Zachary at
yeah.
Shaw, and that
Yeah.
was a blitzkrieg that night.
Yep.
That was a blitz. Shaw put it on him last year, and I think Zachary was waiting, had this game earmarked, and
Yeah.
they got their lick back tonight. So,
Yep.
and they won't see each other in the playoffs because Zachary is not select D1.
No.
But JB, I mean, I just see it's not so much to discredit the teams that are there. It's the formula to where he's got them ranked. I
Y-
just that's what I see.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say it.
Let it fly.
That tie is blasphemous. It's blasphemy. Period. That tie is blasphemy.
All right,
I
Stephen
don't.
A.
Yeah, it's blasphemy. It's
It
and
is.
Skip Bayless asinine. You know what I mean? It is because, bruh, like if he just had Madison Prep number 1 and Curtis 2, or the other way around, or Zachary over Curtis still, I wouldn't have nothing to say about his top 4. I would not. I promise you, because some kind of way, like I said earlier, they've all beat each other some type of way. I wouldn't be, disagreeing with him. But when I saw he has them tied, the head-to-head factor has to play in this. It has to play.
No doubt.
Curtis beat them. You cannot have John Curtis tied with Madison Prep for a number 1 spot when Curtis beat them. That's just what it is. That's a fact. You can't have them two tied. Not at all. Curtis beat them. I just don't know how he could put them tied when Curtis beat them. You know what? He could have had the top 4 all tied for first. I wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't. He could have. Because like I said, they all beat each other. But to have Curtis and Madison Prep both tied at number 1, no. There's no way, man. Curtis beat them boys. You cannot have them tied. Plain and simple. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. And Peabody, I still disagree with because Alexandria got the head-to-head win over Peabody. I would still put Alexandria there. But no, man, I just no. As people would say it, VK is VKing again. I don't know who gave that phrase. Who named that
I
phrase?
didn't.
I don't know, man. VKing again. And then George, I played this for him earlier today. I played
Oh
this
no,
for him, and I was kind of laughing. It's from one of our
football games.
our viewers. No, one of our viewers is
Oh,
watching.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
God don't like ugly.
I can't believe VK. Like what I think VK got confused. I do agree with him that Peabody is a top 5 team. I agree with that. But for him to put John Curtis is really good. He see John Curtis play. He see Madison Prep. I think John Curtis is the best team right now. But I can't defend VK on this one. No, I cannot. I cannot. Has VK lost his touch of the eye test? Is he going analytical on me now? I can't believe VK. This one hurts, man. This one really hurts. He wrong on this one. He did wrong.
VK, you hurt Elston's feelings, bro. How you did this to our guy Elston, bro? But anyway, VK is back. He is taken off the mute. He is ready to unleash. He's ready. He's ready.
Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna
Yes,
ask
sir.
you both a question.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
We understand that head-to-head matters to you guys, right? Right.
hmm
Does weekly performance matter too? If it don't to you, then we're done with that question. We move on.
First, it does
Okay.
matter.
I don't know. Let me say this first before you go, George.
Okay, I got you,
Because
JB.
we
Go
had the
ahead.
discussion in the car, me, him, and Devin Martino. And Devin Martino told him it does matter, but if someone wins a head to head as well with the same type of schedule, great schedule, you have to count that head to head. Go ahead, George.
hmm
Devin told him this,
The
George.
thing
Devin.
I know a great cameraman who does incredibly good work for us, and we are appreciative of his contributions to us and our broadcast. So, Devin, if you're watching, dog, we got mad love for you, bro. But to answer your question, week to week matters. But when, like Devin explained to you, and this is what we've been trying to say, comparable schedules, both teams have it. Madison Prep and John Curtis, in this case, um, they have a comparable schedule. They're not afraid to play the heavyweights per se. Um, when you look at that, I think head to head has to accelerate to the front of that. And then the other part, Alexandria's schedule is a lot better than Peabody's. And you don't have them in your top 5. Look, no disrespect intended, because these are quality teams that are going to be noisemakers in these playoffs. But Peabody done got their butts whooped by Alexandria earlier this year.
Double
That's
digits.
that's a
Double
thing where
digits.
You make a good point.
okay,
You make a good point. Go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead. Finish. I'm not done.
I'm not trying to pick on you. This is not that. You asked the question, and I'll answer again. So
Go
Alexandria
ahead.
won by double figures against Peabody. That has to factor. And Alexandria's schedule, they play in but arguably much better district than Peabody. 5A's got some quality team. It's a really good team. Monroe's got a solid team. There's a lot of good basketball teams. Peabody's district, I feel, is more. What's the word I want to use? Top heavy. That they're the decided favorite there, and I don't think the level of competition is the same as 25A or the Catholic League. So, in my analysis, JB and VK, I I wouldn't rank Peabody top 5, and that's not to say they're not a top 5 worthy team. They are, but
Right.
they're very good. That's again, this is not what we do. Go slandering programs and all that stuff. If you want that, go somewhere else. We don't do that here on the Hash It Out Show. That said, I just disagree with Alex. You not having Alexandria in there, especially when you know that they got an incredibly strong basketball team. They put it on Peabody earlier. Peabody earlier this season.
Okay. That's
JB,
understandable. But here's the thing. What I just said earlier. Alexandria plays who? Ruston. I just said there could be a change in the top 5. You didn't pay attention when
could
I
be.
said that.
Well, hold on. Wait. Hold
You
on.
didn't pay attention when I
Hold on.
said that.
You said that, but
Yes,
George
I
is
did.
sitting here saying, and I'm sitting here saying that Alexandria should be in your top 5.
Which
That's
I
what I always saying.
understand. Which I understand.
So-
but I'm telling him there could be a change when that game was right there on the blip. That's a big game blip. Meaning, okay, Peabody might be out next week, possibly. That's what I'm saying with that.
If
Because
athletes less
I
than you,
understand, which I understand where you're coming from. With that,
Right.
not the top for one and everything. I understand what you're saying, JB, but we understand that Curtis is, but you look at both of the games. Curtis game against St. Aug, Madison Prep game against Marksville. It's not a difference. It's a similar type of almost ending in the game. That's just what it is. It was a lot going on in both games. And you look at Madison Prep, probably the most scariest team in the state, because comparing early in the season, now look at how they're playing. Look at the teams they have beat recently. This is a big run for these guys. It's a huge run. So I cannot sleep on that. You know what I'm saying? I know it's blasphemous. That's what you think. I get it. Okay. That's what you think. That's your opinion. That's fine. But I don't care. You operate how you want to operate. I'm operating how I want to operate. And that's just what it is. I treat this thing and I get head to head. But sometimes I go by week to week. And that's just what it is. Like I that one time I put St. Aug ahead of Curtis one week.
Yeah, St. Aug ahead of Curtis.
I did. But you look at those 2 weeks at the time, St. Aug had the best 2 weeks of any team in the state of Louisiana all year.
Nice. That's nice.
All year.
Curtis was rolling too. Curtis was rolling too. Just
you
lost
have
to Zachary.
to reward that, JB.
So
you have to reward it. You have to reward it.
Have to reward it. I'm not hopping a team with the same record with each other, and that one team beat that team. I'm not rewarding that over that team. I'm not doing that. That's not fair.
And Curtis lost during that time.
It don't matter. Curtis had a better record than St. Aug at the time. All had 2 losses. Curtis had 1. Curtis beat St. Aug. Period. That's why Curtis deserves to be over St. Augustine,
that's
brother.
Fine. That's fine, dude. That's what you think. That's fine. Okay, that is fine. I'm going with how I operate.
Look at George.
That's just what it is. I don't care. I don't care, George laughing. I operate like my top 5, like the top 20 got doggone 5 in college.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You
yes,
don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. There are so many.
Sir.
Yes, I do.
No,
Listen,
you don't, sir.
There are so many times
that operate like a top 25.
Dude, there are so many times. JB, can I explain? Let me explain.
Yeah, you can explain it. You can explain it. Go ahead.
Explain.
Go ahead.
Many times there have been teams that has beaten one team. And the thing about that, head-to-head matters. But if that team is number 1 and they lose 1 or 2 games, guess where they're going? Out of number 1. Somebody's new number 1.
Oh my God.
That's what it is.
Number 1, they lose 2 games. Oh, they lose. Yeah, they're out the spot. Okay, yeah. That's like Alabama. If Alabama, okay, LSU and Alabama play each other, right? Okay. And LSU beats Alabama. Alabama number 1, LSU number 10. And Alabama lose another game. They lose twice. And LSU still got that 1 loss. Of course, LSU is going to hop them. Of course.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but guess what? What I just told you is Curtis had 1 loss, beat St. Aug, gave him the 2nd loss, and lost to Zachary. You had St. Aug still over Curtis.
But I got Curtis over St. Aug now.
Now when it should have never happened.
Oh my God, man. Whatever, bro.
Should never happened.
You operate how you operate.
I mean, I'm glad you just said what you said about the top 25 and one team beats this team and that team lose again and that team got 1 loss. Yeah, thank you. Proving my point, baby. Proving my points, my brother.
It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool.
George,
and that's all it is.
Stop laughing, George.
I'm not. I'm good.
George
I am fine, brother.
He's enjoying this. He needs to pop. Austin got the right emoji up there, right there. George should get some popcorn right now because he's enjoying every minute of this right now. That's why he's laughing. He's like, "Man, the popcorn."
No, I just I will never. Well, there are certain analysts nationally that I will question. But when we do it with you, it's not to demean you or anything like that. It's not anything like that, and I don't want you to take it as such.
No, not at all. That's
Okay.
why I was saying what I said. I said I muted, let you talk. I give my explanation. It's all good. It's all to the good.
And when I say to make VK mad again, let me just say politically, I'm not endorsing of that ideology. I just use that phrase to stir VK up. That's all. And JB, you picked it up and all that stuff, but it's not an endorsement of whoever's in there. And that's just another story. We ready for the girls? Because VK's got me curious as to who he knocked out. I got to see this.
We can move to the girls.
Let's do
We can
that.
move to the girls. Get off this tie for first blasphemous statement from the VK
The
Jones.
unmitigated gall, right?
VK and VKing. All right. Let me see where I gotta go first. Oh, there it is. Cool.
There it is.
Cool. All right. Girls,
Got
number
you first.
one. I'm gonna go first. Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Girls, John Curtis. Then number two, Zachary. I have Slidell at number three. Oak Grove, number four. Southern Lab, number five. Southern Lab is back in it. And back to what I said a little while ago. I had ULab in there. ULab is now out. They lost 2 games in a row. Yes, they beat Southern Lab, but those 2 losses in a row knocked them out.
Mm-hmm.
And Southern Lab is back in. You gotta say, VK.
It's a good, it's a real good. I have no problem with this top. I have no problem with your top 5. Not at all. I think Southern Lab had a huge win on their schedule, and I mean they put a beating on Lafayette Christian, and I mean man, and they're really coming up right now. And Oak Grove, they're continuing to roll right there. Slidell, I mean, they're just so consistent this year. Very consistent. I don't have no problem with your top 5, JB, not at all.
Peppers.
I mean, I don't have Oak Grove in my top 5. I just looked at their body of work, and yeah, they've got some decent stuff on their schedule. But if I have a bone to pick with you on this top 5, it's Oak Grove. I have somebody else in there. Slidell. Let me just say this about the Lady Tigers. That team and Zachary, if they link up in that Division 1 girls non-select final, that would be a very entertaining basketball game if it happens. I don't know where Slidell is in the PowerPoints at this juncture, but that would be one heck of a final in Hammond if it happens.
I think they're number 2 or 3. That's what Slidell is. 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
They're number 3.
Zachary, I think is
Prairieville, Zachary, and Slidell.
Yes.
So it's like being the Curtis side. Oh boy. So they wouldn't see each other unless Slidell knocks out John Curtis, who's number 1.
No,
right?
No, Zachary. No. Slidell's in Zachary's side, Division 1
non-select. There's no Curtis.
Non-select. Yeah, that's right. So they would not see. They would. So they're 2 and 3. You said.
Zachary's number 2. Slidell's number 3. Prairieville.
So that's a semifinal. That's a semifinal matchup. So that's not going to happen unless one of them jumps to the number 1 spot.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I got you.
All right. Oak Grove got a big win over Southern Lab. Carolyn Bradley. I like my number 4 pick.
Outstanding
right now.
Yeah.
After losing last year, I think they're on a mission. Mission this year. All right. Let's get to Peppers' top 5 girls. He got John Curtis number 1, Zachary 2, Slidell 3, Prairieville 4, Parkview 5. So, well, I'll let you explain first. Go ahead, Peppers.
Me? All right. I don't have to regurgitate what I said about Prairieville the last couple of weeks. They are near the top of the front in the computers. The computers don't lie. Power schedules don't lie. So unless they're being, the numbers are being doctored, which they're not, that's a team that has won a lot of games this year. Parkview, that was a pretty demonstrative win over University. They won by 20 something points in that game. I took out U High and stuck Parkview in there. It's nothing against, again, Southern Lab and Oak Grove are very good basketball teams. Again, this is a fluid top 5. It always is subject to change every week. But I think the first 3 are a safe spot for me. John Curtis, Zachary, Slidell. I think those are the 3 best teams to this point in the season. And I know we're about to hit the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. So it's down the stretch we come. But that's my top 5. That's what I feel.
I'm just still. It's
Skidded.
Prairieville schedule. It's just Prairieville schedule to me. That's the only thing.
I
And
get it.
yeah, it's just that schedule. And then they played Zachary. I want to say they played uh with
They
Madison
played
Prep
Lab. They played
and Lab.
Madison Prep. They played not Lab. They played Madison Prep. They played U High, and I think Parkview, and they won one of those games.
Yeah.
But the thing, JB, that you question the schedule. The losses, yes, those are top tier teams that beat them. And the schedule, I see what you're saying, but the computers never lie. There's a reason they're ranked number 2 in the
They
PowerPoints.
number one. They're up there. They're up there.
One, I
But
mean, one.
yeah, they're up there. I see it. Respect is given. But I'm just
Mhm.
like, still, when you look at it, like, man, and they play the tougher teams. They haven't won. They got one win
No,
recently. So that's just me. But hey,
I
the numbers
understand.
don't lie. VK.
I can understand what George is coming from with that and everything. They've won 18 straight games
They have
since they lost those 3 games to University Lab, to Southern Lab, and to John Curtis.
Jack Hurst.
And they have been on a roll, and a couple of those wins was against a couple playoff teams. They gotta, and look at what they're doing in the district, and the reason why I actually have them ranked 2 this time, because it was difficult to get somebody new, but at the same time, usually this district in itself that they're in usually is a mainstay for Walker
Hmm.
and Denham Springs.
Well, we know Walker,
What
head coach out of Acadiana now, and
right? But I know they usually as a mainstay. You know what I'm saying? But for them to pull it off and for them to do what they're doing in their first year, that they're gonna be in a position to possibly win the district championship in what year number, what, 1 or 2 in competition.
yeah,
That's amazing in itself for that program. But we'll see what happens going forward. But you can say more than anything else, they are a bit battle tested because they lost to 3 really tough teams.
yeah,
So
that's true.
I think they're gonna be severely tested. But I think the way they continue to have the chemistry with this team and continue to play hard and get these wins and take care of business, and some of these scores against some of these teams, like, they taking care of it. It ain't like they're going against bad teams and they're winning close. They're taking care of business. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I can agree with you, JB. They are going to get severely tested, but they're a good team. I'm definitely giving them that. What they're doing is very monumental for a first year athletics school than itself. A school that's going to have a brighter future than anything.
Okay, let's go to VK's top 5 girls, and then we can end this show. VK's top 5. John Curtis 1, Zachary 2, Southern Lab 3, Slidell at number 4, Prairieville number 5. What you got to say about your top 5, VK Jones?
Well, on my top 5, the top 2 just didn't change at all. Both
Will
Curtis
it
and
change at
Zachary.
all this year since they played each other? Because we both got a 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm sticking, because at least when these 2 went at it and everything, and you got to stick with what it is, and
Yeah,
with that one.
head to head, right?
But also you look at their schedules as well. Their schedules, is not as tough. It's tough, but not as tough as it was early in the year. So it's not too many eye openers that you can just flip 1 and 2. Not this time with these 2 teams. But but on the bottom is flipped because of the fact, Southern Lab getting that huge win against Lafayette Christian. I mean, wow. And that's why I got them at 3. Slidell has been staying consistent. You know what I'm saying? So they're still in the top 5, but I had to get Southern Lab that lead because of that victory in itself. But Slidell is 4. I was University Lab after those 2 losses, they had to go. I mean, 1 loss is one thing. I was gonna put them at the edge, but when I seen they lost bad to Parkview Baptist, I'm like, oh yeah, we got to make a change this time. So I had to give Prairieville some love because of what are they doing, and it's so unprecedented right now. And 18 straight wins is nothing to really sleep on. You know what I'm saying? So I got them at 5. It is subject to change a bit, but it depends on what happens this week. But Prairieville, what they're doing right now is unprecedented. So that's why I got them in number 5.
Peppers, your thoughts?
I mean, it's a reasonable top 5, and I'm glad you showing some love to to Prairieville. And 18 in a row is 18 in a row, no matter how you slice it. And they played some pretty good teams. Not great, but the mark of a really good team is when you play quote teams that are struggling and you beat the brakes off of them. That's the mark of a good team. That means they're taking care of business. Now, if they were struggling against said average teams, then no, they're not getting this accolade. Wins are wins, but the eye test tells story. It's what we see, is what we follow. You know, now we haven't seen Prairieville on court this year. None of us have. Uh, we may see them in Hammond. That's how good they are. They could be one of those really strong necks that can make a very good run and could find their way to semi. We'll see. I mean, that's a long way. I mean, Zachary's going to have something to say about that. Um, I don't really have a real bone of contention to put VK's top 5 with the girls. I mean, that's pretty much the long and the short of it for me, JB. And contentious things for him on this one.
Okay, I hear you. All right, we're gonna get out this screen. We're gonna go ahead and end this show for tonight. Great show. And
no Super Bowl.
Super Bowl picks. Yes, sir. You're right. Super Bowl picks. Seahawks. Who you got, Peppers?
Seattle 31, New England 20.
11-point victory. All right. VK.
Seattle Seahawks win 31-26.
And the MVP will be Kenneth Walker. The MVP is going to be Kenneth Walker.
Not Sam Darnold, not
I'd love for it to be Sam, just to stick it to the Jackson Smith and Jigba is 5-1 on any on anything to take the MVP, and I might that's one I'm looking at real close too. The Sam is like minus, so that's favored. So if you want value, guys, JSN could be the dude.
I see Sam Darnold to win that to win the MVP. I think probably.
How would the Jets look? How would the Jets look?
It's like, to me,
Sam gets the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it'd be like one of the greatest. It'd be one of the greatest turnarounds we probably have ever seen in the NFL. A person that was in the top 5 in the draft that could have been possibly a bust, and has turned it around in the last couple of years, turning things around in Minnesota with a great regular season, and now coming into Seattle, repeating a great regular season, and this time take it to another level and getting this team to the big game. If he wins that, it's going to be as big as Matt Stafford coming to the Rams winning that bowl. It's going to be big, but for him, he was on the cusp of becoming a potential bust. It was a top 5 pick in the draft, and for him to turn it around.
Top 3, VK. Top 3.
Well, regardless,
yes.
Regardless of fact, but it's just amazing. Amazing turnaround, good coaching, all that stuff. But I think it's going to be closer than the experts think. That's why I got the score where it is.
Hey, VK, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Does your hat block the sun from your eyes?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
You funny, man. What I'm gonna ask you, what's wrong with my hats? It's like
they don't fit. They don't fit, brother.
What is the right fit to you? I it fits my head, nothing coming off. It fits my whole head. I know my head is
it don't.
My head is definitely a little bit
Hold on.
a little bit size than yours. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
bro, wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, here, this here. No, your head a little bit, just a little bit bigger. Yeah, right.
So you saying my head size is like same size as yours? Or something? That's what you're
Not even
saying?
close. Your head bigger.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you.
You
I
said
know
a
what I
little
want to
bit. I'm
say.
like, no, not even. It's not,
I know. So the hat I have, and I got it into where it fits the whole head.
no,
What's
it don't. No, it
I
don't.
don't
I'm about to show y'all. This is how VK hats are, y'all. Y'all ready? Here we go. That's how VK hats be.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
Way up
no.
here. This VK hats, okay? Way up here on the side. See? Way up here. All right, that's VK hats. Way up there. It's VK hat. Don't fit it.
I'm like this. It fits my whole head. I'm like this shit.
Look, you see how that's like way up there. Oh Lord.
Well, let me ask you this between me
I
and
mean,
you.
bring your brim down some, brother. Bring
So
your
you
brim
want me
down
to
some.
bring the brim down? a little bit?
Yeah, oh,
Right here.
oh
Yes,
my God. Oh, George. How much better that look, George?
much.
Oh my God. Just bringing the brim down looks so much
It's
better.
radically improved.
Shoot.
Mm.
So
But I
VK wear
feel
the
a
head like Les
right
Miles, bro. You wear the head like Les Miles.
man. Hope he
so
ain't
you
got Clark
saying
Madison skills like Les Miles though.
so you saying my hat should be more
Oh,
down like this?
Yeah,
they
that's what I
should
said.
be.
Like, that's what I said. Does the hat even block the sun from your eyes? Because your hat be way up here, and then on the side by your ears, it's way up here. It's not even down closer to your ears, bro. That's why, like, your hats don't fit, or you just wearing it wrong, brother. One of the two.
Fashion statement.
Look, I'm like this. I try.
Austin.
Look, man. I love my hats, man. I
I
follow them
feel you.
behind. I follow behind my dad. My dad always had a hat, so I followed his suit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like JB, trying to get hats to match outfits, and
There you
that's
go.
just what it is, you
There
know.
you go.
So,
Sure.
but but I appreciate the tip. You know what I'm saying? It's just a fact that I just wear hats the way I want to wear hats, and I just want to make sure I get something to fit my head. That's the biggest thing, because I do have a big head. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You know,
What size hat you gotta buy? Like when you get a fitted, you get a size 8.
past 7.5, like 7.75, 7.75.
That's what I
You know
get.
what I'm saying?
7 3/4.
7.75, or a little bit past 7.75.
Well, go
Not the 8.
get you an 8, man.
The
Get
8
you an
gonna be
8,
way,
bro. Get you an
the 8
8.
gonna be way too big. To be honest, the 8 gonna be way too big. To
Okay,
be
and
honest.
7 3/4
A
barely fit in
quarter
your
of
head.
it.
This is not like the fitted hat. This is one of those what
Dang, a snapback don't even fit his head. Jeez. A snapback don't even fit. That's the one I thought would fit you perfectly. That snapback. Jesus Christ. Wait, what's it on in the back? How many buttons you got snapped in the back?
I'm not gonna answer that question because I know you're gonna joke on me.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna talk to you off the air. I'll talk to you off the air. Maybe you'll give me more tips. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Because
Oh, man.
ain't nothing
Woo.
wrong with snapbacks. The fitted hats are cool. I always try something when I go to lids or something. I always try when I get a fitted hat, try it on and be like, is it comfortable enough? Not just that fit the head. I don't want to get something way too big, and all of a sudden it's like way out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like you put on pants. You don't want to have something too bigger, and all of a sudden the stuff falls. You want to have something that's comfortable and right in the length and in the width. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Yes, indeed. We're about to end this show. We're about to end this show now, y'all.
Now I went down on a thing. That's not.
Yeah,
How that look?
that is better, bro. That is better. You went down on the brim. Yes. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. I meant to tell you that when you did the interviews at Booker T. Washington. I was like, put that thing down. All right. But anyway, bro. All right. Last words, George Peppers.
I don't know how I could follow that exchange, but I'll try. And it's another great edition. Great interviews, and sorry about the net issues. And damn, you got counseling coming to you, Mr. Jones, from Austin. But he might charge you, brother. Anyway,
Austin.
Obviously, this weekend I'm going to let JB announce it, but we do have a broadcast scheduled. A very enticing matchup. I'll let Jared take that. It is also Super Bowl weekend, and for those that missed it, they had the flag football Pro Bowl last night. If anybody was interested, we weren't because we were busy watching a much better product with Curtis and St. Aug. And for those that care, the NFC won 66-52. Whatever that means, doesn't mean anything. The Olympics start Friday, and I'm a fan of that. With the NHL players coming back, I get to watch the ice hockey, and it's going to be fun. Um, yeah, it'll be a great thing in Italy. Hopefully, all goes well. No incidents, no craziness, none of that foolery or any of that. But it's a full weekends of sports with the Super Bowl this weekend, college baseball next weekend. All our local teams. VK, you cover Nunez Community College. You have a game scheduled tomorrow. They play tomorrow. You take that. Delgado. There's some previews. I mean, look, Louisiana baseball is back and ready to rock and roll, and then in a couple of weeks' time, the four most favorite words in all of Major League Baseball's fans: pitchers and catchers report. That's going to be in a couple of weeks. So yeah, we're about ready to transition and do a lot of things. And for those of you this weekend, the Mardi Gras parades start a little bit this weekend too. The big ones. Not the big ones, but if you're out there, don't engage in no stupidness. Be safe and use common sense and use common judgment. And then with that, VK Jones, it's all yours, bro.
Yeah, college baseball already got started last week with the junior colleges and the NAIA and everything else. I did BRCC last week against Southwest Mississippi. It was a really, really good game on Thursday. Tomorrow, Nunez, their home opener against John Melvin out of Pensacola, will be on at 5 p.m. for the doubleheader. It'll be on tsbnsports.com. That's tsbnsports.com at 5 p.m. for the doubleheader. And then on Friday, I'll be in Baton Rouge. BRCC will have their home opener against Jones College, a very good program. And that will be a 2 p.m. first pitch on Friday night on tsbnsports.com as well. I'll have the call of both of those games. And the thing about that is this is maybe the only home doubleheaders these two teams have. They're going to be on the road for a long while because BRCC next time they'll be playing a 9-inning game against Southwest Mississippi again at UNO on February 23rd. So both teams are about to be hitting them miles for a hot minute until late February to March. But tune into those games, and and this weekend the Hash It Out Show got a little something for you. But man, have a great weekend. Enjoy this first big weekend of Mardi Gras, and enjoy the Olympics and enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. Don't act a fool. Be safe, and hope to see you back next week because we got some stuff for you on our show next week as well. JB, take it.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. So tomorrow, 5:50, we will be streaming girls basketball. We will be in Ponchatoula for Mandeville versus Ponchatoula. You got Coach Patricia Abear, one of the best coaches in the state.
Landesh.
That's correct. Coach Trish Landesh, Patricia Abear Landesh. The Abear isn't her name, correct?
I don't think so.
Okay, my bad. Patricia, I thought we were friends.
Might be a married name thing.
It might be. All right, but anyway, Patricia Landesh, one of the best coaches in the state. Has her kids. They're gonna take on Madison. Lord, let me get it right. Mandeville, and that's
Coach Weinmunson.
Oh, I know Melissa Weinmunson. Yes, that I do know, and
led by Alana
Benoit. Yes, so we got that tomorrow, Saturday. VK, double check with Coach Roche for me, please. Saturday, 3:50 p.m. Carver hosting Edna Carr. All right. So that's what we got. Y'all tune in. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you to Coach Jay Johnson of LSU for joining us tonight. We'll be back next week. Till then, y'all take care. Hey, parents and coaches, want your young athlete to go far on and off the field? Kumon of Gretna is the place for you. Whether it's reading plays or calculating scores, early literacy and math skills teach focus, discipline, and decision making. Give your student athlete the edge. Start early, start smart at Kumon of Gretna.
Looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans? Then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
If you ever need help with 401k services, fiduciary services, or executive benefits, then Jeremy Callaghan of CoSource Financial Group is the guy to see. You can reach him at 337-606-9860. Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you. Yeah, VK, we still see you. Peace out. We out of here.